Hey everyone, it's Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. Welcome back to my Sunderland preview. Now, Norwich City take on the Black Cats this Saturday at Carrow Road, and it feels like we've said this quite a lot recently, but it feels like another really big opportunity this for the Canaries to mount a real push for the playoffs. It's been a decent 2024 so far. If you look at the last 10 games, the last 8 games, the last 6 games, we are within the top 6 in terms of form during that period. Now, we know how horrific some of the months were leading into that, but actually since the turn of the year, and particularly since the return of Josh Sargent to the side, we've looked like real playoff contenders. Sunderland are a fascinating case because when we played them at the Stadium of Light, it was near the start of the season, wasn't it? And you know, we were in a bit of a sticky patch. Things looked so different, actually, at the football club compared to what they do now. We were played off the park on that occasion. I remember it was Kellen Fisher up against Jack Clark, and I just looked at the two sides, and they looked an absolute world apart. So the fact that actually we're coming into this game against them and going, we really should be winning, is a positive for us and actually shows how kind of fast Sunderland have fallen during that time, and actually really proves how quickly things can change in the Championship. A big thank you has to go out to Match Bingo, who have been sponsoring the match preview videos for the last couple of months. They are a bingo app, but for football matches, and for every Norwich City game in the Championship, they are covering it. £2 per card. 50% of the profits that they make go to a charity of your choice. I've selected East Anglian Air Ambulance, a charity really close to my heart. I've won a couple of times on there this season. I've got my card for this Saturday's game. You can do so using the link in the description. A massive thank you to Match Bingo. We were sadly told that the injury news midweek from David Wagner. A couple of real nasty ones in there. Onel Hernandez has been ruled out for the rest of the season with a broken foot, and it was a real shame because, look, Onel's not had his best season. I think, well, he has admitted that. If any of you watch his YouTube videos, his latest video was a tough watch, actually. He seemed absolutely distraught. But in the last, month, his form has started to pick up. He's looked bright. Maybe the numbers haven't replicated it, but he's been busy and he's been exciting. And he started to return to the Onel Hernandez that we, fell in love with a couple of years ago. So for him to be out until the end of the season is a massive blow. And it does add pressure to that area of the pitch. We've gone from having almost too much choice to not enough. Of course, Jonathan Rowe is probably going to be out for the rest of the season as well. I note that his kind of recovery period seemingly keeps getting longer the more that the media speak to Wagner. He's now saying it's going to be early April at the absolute earliest. That's not great news. I can't see him returning, at least from a starting capacity, probably until the end of the season, which is a real shame. Duffy remains out. Nunez is also out. He, of course, went off with a knock against Blackburn. Thankfully, that doesn't seem as severe as we first thought. It looked like a hamstring injury during that period. It's not. It's sort of a hip injury. He should be back for Rotherham, which is good news. But again, it adds pressure to a fairly lengthy injury list. Once again, that probably means it's going to be Gunn in goal, Yanulis, Gibson, Hanley and Stacey. In the middle, Sarah and Kenny McLean. And then Science, Barnes, Fastnacht and Sargent up front. That's the starting 11. I suspect that Wagner will start. And to be honest, it's still a very good starting 11. You're probably a couple of players off your strongest 11. You'd have Rowan instead of Fastnacht. And you'd probably have, to be honest, that's near enough the strongest 11. So no real excuses. The bench will probably look slightly light, so let's kill the game off early doors. But Sunderland are in a really, really strange kind of period at the moment. Jack Clark is out for 6 weeks, which is a massive, he's their best player. That's a massive blow for them. Their last 3 games have been defeats to Huddersfield, Birmingham and Swansea. And prior to that, they'd only really beaten Plymouth and Stoke So it's been a pretty torrid time for Sunderland ever since about mid-December. Of course, Beale has come in and has since been sacked. So there's upheaval there at Sunderland. And these are the games that you have to be winning, particularly when the away form of draws against QPR and Blackburn, again, 2 games that we should have won, it just adds that little bit more pressure on these home games. Now, our home form for the past 6 to 8 weeks has been really promising. We've had some good performances. We've looked so much better at home than we have away from home. So that pleases me. Look, the performance against Blackburn was stodgy. I'm hoping for something a little bit more exciting and enticing against Sunderland. And this month of March looks big for Norwich. It feels like there's opportunity in here. We've got Sunderland, then it's Borough away, Rotherham at home, Stoke away, Plymouth at home. Your home games are against sides that you should be beating, and your away games to Middlesbrough and Stoke, both sides not in the best of form at the moment. So I'm looking at that and going, from 5 games, I'm probably wanting a minimum of 4 wins from that. If you do that, you're well within a top 6 shout. It gets a little bit trickier in April. You've got Leicester and you've got Ipswich in there. So for a real chance of top 6, this is a pivotal month. And it starts against Sunderland. I think we'll win. I think we'll be convincing at home. And I've liked the look of us at home. Sargent is so important. I think his link-up play with Barnes has been really impressive. Borja Sainz, we know how impressive he has been. That midfield pairing of Sarah and McLean has looked really good. And actually, the defensive line, your Nulis, Gibson, Hanley, Stacey, is probably your most orthodox of defensive units. Gunner's, of course, been excellent all season. I'm hopeful. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Match Bingo. The link to download that is down in the description. Would really recommend giving it a go. There's also loads of free games on there. So if you don't want to pay and you want to just give it a test, download the app, pick your charity and play a free game. You'll love it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.